Quit eating, folks, 30 seconds to showtime. Grab your seat, leave your drinks to the bar. Hold your breath, put your hands together. We present Stanford Bay's finest star, who has danced with the Mayor of Guinea, who has dined with the Queen of Vermont. We trace the voyages of Sinbad, corresponded with the men who can't love us to be. C'est pas la même chose que la vache qui rit. La vache est fort, mon ami.
And hello, welcome once again to the Devil's Hour. My name is Jeff with a G, and with me is the amazingly talented and wonderful person, one half of the world-acclaimed Sentimentalists. We got the wonderful and awesome Chris Mysterion. How are you doing today, Chris?
Oh, I'm fantastic. Thanks for having me on the show. Couldn't be better, considering.
Oh, yeah, it's basically how that for all of us. Just because, well, I'm doing something, so that's something. So that's good. Pardon me. So let's get into this. We've only chatted through Facebook, so we've never actually met because you're in the frozen white north, America's hat, Canada.
No, we're your toque.
Our toque, yes. We don't do toques down here. We do hats.
That's right.
And I know
I'm in Toronto. It's freezing here right now. It's like minus 30, minus 52 with the wind chill.
If only.
If only
I could have that.
The cold, I gotta be honest. I love the cold.
I do
I'll
too.
go to LA and everyone will be sitting at the pool, and I'll be like, no, I want to go inside and turn on the AC and freeze.
Well, I live here in Austin, Texas, and so literally that's kind of how I try to hold off turning on the AC as long as possible because electricity bills, but otherwise.
Yeah, for sure.
What is going on? 1 second.
I'm already messing something up.
No, it's not you. It's on my end. I'm trying to see what's going on. I was having some small computer issues earlier, and so there we go. I'm just making sure I can see stuff right. It's not you, it's me. My computer was my internet connection was being weird earlier, like half an hour before the show was supposed to start, and so I was trying to figure out, I was trying to get that fixed and try to figure out how I can still do the show without my internet, because I can do some stuff through my phone and things like that too, but it's one of those, but I got it working, so. We've got a few people in the chat, including I think I saw Hot Todd Lincoln pop up.
Hey, I love Hot Todd. Hey, listen, we've had Hot Todd up all the time to do the Something Strange Sideshow Festival here in Toronto in January. And listen, in January, it really is cold here. And he's braved coming up here 2 or 3 times now. And we always love what he has to offer.
That's what right now he's in the chat going, yes, one of his favorite festivals, and he's always delighted to go to. Yeah, he's been up twice, is what he says.
Yeah.
So part of the reason I wanted to bring you on, one is because it's one way for us, in the internet, in this world of COVID, we can't really go out and see people. So this is the best way to do so, is to do this sort of stuff. And so a chance for me to actually chat with you that I wouldn't have otherwise, and vice versa. So we can have this sort of stuff. But I also like anybody who's doing things to make sure we hype them up properly, so that way you can at least get coffee money through any means and stuff like that. So I know some of the stuff you're doing is, we'll start first, but we'll talk about the fact is that you have let's talk about your podcast first, because I'm really fascinated by this. I'm gonna put
we're all into the same thing. We love cryptozoology. We love, a good ghost story. And what a better time to do something like that when people have some time off to listen. And I'm a big fan of all sorts of different podcasts and, YouTube shows, that sort of thing. And one thing I don't like is the length of them. Sometimes they go for an hour and a half, and you kind of have to commit to that time frame. Mm-hmm. And I thought, what if there was just a podcast where you just get the goods? You get 10 minutes, 12 minutes, you get a couple of quick ghost stories, something you can listen to before you go to bed or on a quick drive. And I decided about a month and a bit ago to put that together. So I reached out to the masses and asked, if anyone had any supernatural experiences. And, I'm kind of one of those people that I sit on the fence. I don't really believe that ghosts are real, but then at the same time I do, because I've had all sorts of unusual things occur that don't have an explanation. One being a story that's on the podcast. The first one that's there is a personal tale. And it's interesting to see how many people have responded with some pretty incredible claims. They've seen a Sasquatch, or they've had occurrences with shadow people, or UFOs and this sort of thing. And whether you believe it or not, when you're listening to it, these people do truly believe that this has happened to them. Mm-hmm. And so just on that basis alone, it's such an interesting exploration of people and what they experience and what they have to share. So I'm kind of playing around with that right now and getting into the groove of doing something that's verbal and non-visual, which is of course what I'm used to.
Right. I put it in the chat, a link to the anchor.fm site that has that item, because it's not like the normal, I couldn't see that it was like a normal Apple podcast or something like that, but it is through Anchor FM, which is actually a subsidiary of Spotify.
It's actually on Anchor, it's on Apple,
it's on Apple
Spotify, well? It's on all of them.
Okay.
The only one I really promote is the Anchor one, because that's the tool I use to make the podcast.
Well, that's fair. That's the link I had saw, which was that thing, which is why I put that link on there. So that way it makes it easy so people can check it out. No, I've listened to a couple of them and I really enjoy it. It's because I get nothing but time. I don't go out and do anything. I do this stuff, and then I listen and watch the stuff that people are into, and so I really dig it. I really like it a lot. So I definitely recommend you guys pick up the Something Strange But True, or Something Strange Tales But True, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, Something Strange But True.
True, yeah. So there's a question mark. True.
Believe it or not, that kind of thing.
No, it's good. I definitely recommend that sort of stuff, especially the people who are who do or have to commute, who do have the options of doing things like either gym work or are doing commutes and stuff like that. They can listen to it, because I think the longest one you have is around 40-ish minutes, but most of them are about 15 or 20. So. Oh no,
there's none of them that go more than.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
19 minutes. I don't think there's any that are any longer than.
I'm misremembering. That's all it is.
That's okay. It's all good.
Not like I've been drinking.
And listen, if anyone has any experiences they want to share, by all means, reach out and let me know, and I'm happy to include them on an upcoming episode.
Very cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Now we didn't. The viewers and stuff like that, we didn't plan this. I was just happy to have him to come and chat. But as he's got right there, he actually wants to do some stuff, because he can't help but not do stuff. So if you want, we had no plan for this whatsoever. And no, you can go my
we haven't discussed this. You don't even know what we're about to do.
No, I don't, and that's legit. No kayfabe, no nothing. I know.
No kayfabe. I love that you use that word. I have something in front of me that is essentially just a little magician's mat, something that you can present jewelry on, is really what it is. Yeah. It's a jewelry display. And I've made up some cards. I've made up 10 cards, and they match. If you can see, there's a heart, a star, a zigzag shape, a triangle, and a square, okay?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them over here, and I'm going to give them a little mix, okay? So there's no way that you're going to know which one is where, okay? I'm just going to take them, and I'm going to mix them up, and you have no idea, of course, which one's where, and that is true. I mean, we haven't arranged this, and of course, I'm now rearranging them, and you don't know, let's say, which one this one is. So we're going to start with this one here. Should it go with the heart, the star, the zigzag, the triangle, or the square? Where do you think this one should go?
I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm just going to say zigzag.
The zigzag here. Okay, fair enough. And what about this one here?
That one there, I think I'm going to go with the star.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes, I'm going to go with a star.
Okay. All right. And what about this guy here?
That one, I'm thinking the square.
The square. So all the way over here.
Yeah.
You know, most people only get one right. You know that, right?
Oh no, I'm aware. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. You got that one right. I'll tell you that one you nailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
that
fair.
one you nailed.
Yeah.
What about this one here?
We're gonna go that one with the. We'll go that with the heart.
The heart. All right, fair enough. Which means this guy
It's the
goes
triangle.
with the triangle.
Yeah.
Do you want to change any of these, or are you happy with the way that you've lined them up?
No, I'm gonna commit to that. If I made the thing, I'm gonna commit to it, right or wrong.
So in the 1930s, Dr. Zenner and Dr. Rhine had this testing facility at Duke University where they would, communicate shapes to participants. You see a type of thing like this in the movie Ghostbusters. And
Yeah.
you get a point for everyone you got right, and you would get an electric jolt for everyone that you got incorrect. You would essentially get shocked. What I think is the most shocking, even though we've never discussed this, is that you've somehow lined up the heart with the heart. You've got the star with the star. You've got the zigzag with the... All right, you did that one too. I thought that one was wrong. And you actually nailed all 5 of them. And I have no explanation other than maybe you're psychic, one of the two. I don't
Column
know.
A, column B, same column.
Little column A, column B. You did it. I mean,
That's amazing. No, that's
a weird thing.
That's so
Yeah.
good. Oh man, I'm not.
And I love this new idea of doing mentalism over the internet. I tried it way back when, and now we had to kind of do it out of necessity,
Yeah.
I was a performer on stage practically every night as part of the Sentimentalists. We went on Penn and Teller's Fool Us. Even before that, we were doing, a show or 2 every week or 3 every week. On a weekend over the holidays, we might be doing 4 or 5 shows in a weekend. But when we went on Penn and Teller, and we actually fooled Penn and Teller, and then we went on America's Got Talent, and then it was kind of like kaboom. We were on stage non-stop and, really used to interacting with people. And then, of course, it just stopped. And Steffi had to go up to her hometown. She does live in Toronto, but she went uptown to stay with her folks, and we're just not doing shows. And so to be able to kind of interact with people like this became a necessity, or else I would have went crazy, because this is what I'd done for 2 decades. And so to be able to do it over the internet is a fun challenge, to say the least. But you just proved it can work.
That was just amazing. I've been talking with several different people. Like last week, I had Todd Robbins on the show. We talked about how I think in a lot of ways is the people who succeed are the people who are going to succeed beyond this is the people who take advantage of these other ways of doing things, because he even stemmed it back because when movies came around with stage, and so a lot of the vaudevillers and stuff like that had to adapt to make that work, so that way they would still survive. And so that's the same sort of thing. So like the fact is that we found it. You found a way not only through doing doing this mentalism thing, which really that blows my mind, and then with the other stuff you've done as well, you're looking for the ways to adapt, which is great. Like when you had like the Dr. M's fun stuff, which I was actually on.
Mausoleum, yeah.
Which I was on one of those. So back when I had hair.
Well, you had hair.
I cut my hair off. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought you were referring to going bald.
Oh no, I can't. No, I am.
I'm going bald. I actually went to my doctor and I asked him what the cause is, and he told me it's because my hair's falling out.
That's a pretty good reason.
What it is?
It's my dog.
I'm getting a nod of. I'm getting a big no over here from my girlfriend sitting in the other room. There she is. She's even know what you're doing. Oh, she's on the computer. She's not even. Oh, you are watching. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah, so she's probably, she's watching things. I probably can see my dog at the moment because he is being very insistent, but it's late and you need to go lay down. Go. You can say hi to Chris, but no.
Yeah, this whole idea of adapting, we were doing the Dr. M show, and the whole idea then this was when we were all really under lockdown. We couldn't really go out unless it was for an essential. And, in Toronto, it was very strict. Everywhere was closed. You couldn't even get takeout food, nothing. And so we had to come up with something that was going to entertain not only you guys, but to entertain ourselves as creators. And the whole idea, of course, was to practice quarantine from 6 feet below. And this sort of hokey horror host guy that is a little out of touch with reality, but can relate to being in isolation. And, by the end of the run, we had WWE wrestlers from the 90s and 80s and guys that I know sending in videos for episodes. And did you ever get the show, The Hilarious House of Frightenstein? Do you know
I
what
know
that is?
of the show. I didn't catch it at the time, but I have Canadian friends who gave me reference to that, and so I think I saw like a clip or something like that, like years ago. But I do know of that because, weirdly enough, as I love Canadian television, there's a lot of great shows.
Local show.
Yeah.
It's actually out of Hamilton, which is very close to Toronto, not even an hour drive. So the guy that was the creator of that show, one of the creators of that show, he's a friend, and he even sent in a video because the Frightenstein show has been a huge influence not only on the Dr. M project, but on my entire life. It had Vincent Price, it had, very famous Canadian comedian and actor Billy Van, who appeared on almost every show that you could, go through the channel. Not like that back then, you'd be going like that back then.
Yeah.
And he was on different things like Party Game and a show called Bizarre.
I love Bizarre.
Yeah,
John
Bizarre,
Biner,
Billy Van
man,
was on
yeah.
Bizarre. Right? And so this was a show that was hugely influential to me growing up. And then I kind of had my own Wolfman in my burlesque troupe, and I had this sort of, side show, kind of when no one else was doing it in Toronto. And to have him send us a sort of a blessing and go, watch this show. Dr. M has some positive things to say during this challenging time. I mean, I would have never imagined as a kid that would have ever happened. That something I did would include an element of that program. So, I mean, it all goes full circle, right?
Yeah.
But we were creating. We had to create. And thankfully, we have a little bit of lenience now. So Dr. M is locked back into his crypt for another until we have a second wave, I guess.
Or until
But
Inspire.
until then, we're doing the podcasts and having fun doing mentalism, and that's really all we can do.
It's fine. I was just a big. I had a great time doing it, like filming it and stuff like that. And so it's on you for everybody's watching. That is all on YouTube. You can check it all out. The Dr. M's Mad Mausoleum. I think there's like 6 or 8 episodes.
No, there's I think 10 now. You're 10? On the.
I'm the second to last.
You're on the second last one. Yeah, that's right. Oh, right, because I was going to have you on the other one, and then my phone did something funny, and all the footage that everyone sent me got put into another folder, and then it was just a nightmare to find it. But it was there. It was just in another folder, and then I divided that episode into 2.
Yeah.
So I think, you might be right.
I was on the second to last one. Because you had a sideshow 1 part 1 and then one part 2, and I was in part 2. I was in part 1, so.
Yeah. So you got to watch it. It's great.
It's a lot of
Mad
fun.
Mausoleum, Dr. M's Mad Mausoleum. Yeah.
I definitely recommend you guys checking it out. It's lots of worthwhile. I'll put it back in my social medias for everybody to get to look at that because YouTube views long term will help you out too. So
yes, absolutely.
I'm a big fan of anybody getting more eyes on stuff, so I'm being a fan of it. Let's see what else is going on. So you get the podcast. Just recently, you did a live auction on the internet for some oddity items, because because we're friends on Facebook, and so I actually went on and picked up some stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And you get a lot of really cool items that didn't get a lot of play, which is fair, but it's really cool that as people can see through him, you can see all the nice, fun stuff he has in general.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just picked up a new item. We chatted about beforehand, but if you want to talk to people about that, because it's really fascinating.
This guy here, well, I didn't quite pick it up. It was traded for some other stuff, but it's an albino deer. I mean, check this guy out. It's fantastic. An albino deer, rare animal.
Yeah.
I think that guy's probably from the 1920s,
Oh,
judging
wow.
by the way it's been taxidermied. And the funny thing about it is that it came out of a place called the Cabinet of Curiosities, and that store, I've had to visit it a couple of times for business-related purposes, and I've passed right by it, 4 or 5 times. And this week, I was looking at an albino deer on Instagram at a shop in the States, and I said, I'm simply not buying something like that now. But it's beautiful. And then I went back in the other day, and there it was. And the shop owner said, hey, it's been here the whole time. You've just never noticed it. And it's kind of like this idea, like when you're looking for something, or when it's on your radar, there it is, you notice it. And so fortunate for me, some of the stuff that didn't sell on the auction was traded, and this guy came home with me. So
there you go.
He has a really nice home now next to this COVID cheetah. So
that's true.
I'm still convinced when I leave, they come to life, and all the animals do things and terrorize my cat.
Like the weird, like a weird, messed up Toy Story.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Oh man, this place wouldn't be happy. This place would be terrorizing. I mean, the dolls that I have in here, first and foremost, there's like 4 or 5 ventriloquist dolls, and those alone would cause trouble.
Oh no! You should look at one of your pictures. Like you're showcasing something. I guess you were doing some sort of Zoom show or something, and you had a little clown over. I think over a talking board. And first of all, I just love that picture in general, because clown and talking board, and it's talking board, not Ouija. Ouija is a trademark of Milton Brothers.
It's a full talking board. That's right. Yeah.
So.
Now, the funny thing about that clown is that it is a real haunted doll. I have all these people, I got this doll, it's haunted and all this shit. And they post it on eBay, and they try to sell something that's old and claim that it's haunted, but it just looks weird. Yeah. But it came to me from an actual clown, a gentleman in Toronto named Sketchy the Clown. He plays a rummy type, vulgar, very funny character. He plays a lot of characters, but that's the one he's known for.
Sketchy the Clown. I know a lot of vulgar clowns, so that might be somebody I need to know.
This guy runs the Lunacy Cabaret. It's the biggest, longest running cabaret of its kind. It's been around for 2 decades. And he phones me up, and he goes, his girlfriend hates this thing. It has a wind up music box inside, and it would activate, yet they never would turn the key at any point. And he said that it would turn on and off any kind of electronics. So the television or the DVD player or whatever would just start going haywire, and then the clown would activate and the music would play. And, I think at one point the girlfriend was home alone, and it happened, and it ended up being thrown in a box and down the stairs, and they didn't want it anymore. And so they called me, and they said, hey, will you want it? I said, well, of course, I'll take it. And I've had them ever since. And I can't watch TV, but that's okay.
You got books, it's fine. No, I
never watched TV anyway. I've never had anything happen with it. I've had it in the sideshow room, which is just over there. Yeah. And I've only recently taken him out and put him in. I have a 10-in-1 display in the kitchen, and he's sitting in the 10-in-1, and I mean, he's fine. He moved a coin on the talking board, but I mean, that footage is online. You can check that out, but that doesn't scare me.
No, That's amazing. I just remember seeing that picture. And I just went. I love everything about that picture, between with the clowns in there with the talking board and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. For people who are just joining in, my name is Jeff with the G. Welcome to the G Spot. I've got Chris Mysterion, who is one of the amazing mentalists who's out of Canada. He's part of the Sentimentalists. He's been on Penn and Teller's Fool Us. He was on America's Got Talent. People who tuned into this past week's Devil's Hour, I did do a clip from America's Got Talent because I wanted to hype you being on the show, and so I did the. I showed the one which was like the Brad Paisley thing with the marbles.
Oh yeah. That was. You know, we never talked to him in advance. They just said that we're going to use whoever the special guest of the day is. And they wouldn't tell us who that special guest is. You know, the truth is, to anybody listening, when you watch a show like America's Got Talent or Fool Us, the performers don't have access to the judges or the audience. When we did Fool Us, the audience was brought in on rotation based on essentially a ticket lot. So there's no way we could have had someone set up or anything like that. And even the order that the performers are brought on is at a sort of a sense of random, to us at least. So we would be in holding. Fortunate for us, we were the third act, I believe, or the second act we were the first act to come on for the season. They brought us up first, but they aired us on the second spot. So we were fortunate enough to not have to sit in a green room all afternoon. But some of the acts will sit down there for 4 or 5 hours because they just simply don't tell you anything. So with what we did with Brad, first of all, we didn't even know it would be Brad Paisley. And then we came out, we had a box, and Steffi was able to do what you can watch on the TV.
Oh, it's amazing.
But that's an edited clip. You know, that was a pre-filmed segment. In reality, he was going through his phone, and she had her eyes closed, and she was calling out photos of him and his children at the zoo, what animals they were standing in front of, different things that were on his phone reel. And then he said, you know what, I'm going to change the folder. And he went from one folder into another one, and that's where that guitar image was. And she called that, and then, of course, it was pre-predicted in the box. So, you know, it was a fantastic spot. It just never got shown in its entirety.
Well, even just a spot that got shown and edited is like amazing.
Dynamite.
So So no, it's really really good, and so like I really enjoyed it, and you guys also came down to New Orleans for the Great Southern Sideshow Hootenanny like 3 years ago. I think it was the year before I was able to go, and I know you.
Was it not long ago now?
Well, I've been to the last 3, and we would have met by then, so it had to be at least 4 years ago.
Oh, you know, you're right, man. It was. That's crazy.
I think you were there.
It was like yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird because it's the Hoot. It's like weird that way. It's either a million years ago or it was yesterday, and it changes the time of day when it is. But I've like friends of mine like Scabs the Clown, stuff like that. They go, yeah, so like you totally killed for that thing because that's just a great experience. And the reason I say that is because we have a lot of sideshow performers who watch a lot of the shows here, and so like Hot Todd Lincoln and stuff like that. So I make sure to make reference that you are a Hoot alumni.
And I want to say something, if you don't mind me interrupting you.
Oh no, please.
Which I'm apparently very good at. So unfortunately, because of COVID, the border between the States and Canada is closed.
Yeah.
And I do this big sideshow festival in January every year. I've been running them forever. I'm looking for performers to come up for January. And of course, that's all going to be dependent on the situation. We don't know if we're going to even have our border open or what we're going to be doing. But if anyone's watching and would like to come up to Canada, here's a thing to note, that you don't need a work visa as a performer to come into Canada and work. Every performer in the States comes through. They just tell them that they're coming to my fest, and there's never an issue. We've had 50 or 60 acts from the States in the last few years come in, no problem. And I'm looking for acts. So if you want to reach out and let me know you're interested. If I don't get you this year, I'll have you next year.
Yeah. I would. I've been talking because I'm friends with Phoenix Fire and of course Hot Rod and stuff like that. And so like and then Sam from I Think I'm Scary. So it's one of those things I go like. So they're all everybody's just going. And of course the Monsters. I know the Monsters really well, and so everybody's keep telling me, "You need to come to Canada. You need to come to Canada." And I go, "All right, cool." And then like I went, "All right, cool. I just gotta get a passport." And now like I can't really get a passport right now, but. My plan always was, like, I always saw, like, you were doing this Something Strange every year, and so it's one of those things that I always wanted to do that anyways. And let's see, we, on the chat, Miss Mary Jane Green, who is a noted burlesquer and stuff like that. And so she just dropped in the chat and says, sorry I'm late, I want to do whatever you're talking about. So Miss Mary Jane Green, also a good friend, we're talking about the Something Strange the Sideshow Festival that's happening currently in January. If the borders open up, we want to try to bring some Americans up there, and if not, then we're definitely going to descend like a horde next year. So, or the next year. Because I plan to come up because I'm
more than welcome. You're booked whenever, even if this one we open the border, you're booked. You can come on up.
All right, cool. It's like me. I'm just gonna tell some stories and throw mouse traps all over my body. So that's really what I do.
No, you're working the door.
Yeah. Oh, work the door? Fine, I can do that too. No worries. I'm happy to do that too, and I'll sit and chalk with.
You want a headline spot?
You don't want me to be your headliner.
I can't wait for it. That's my Christmas, is that show, and I'll be devastated if it can't happen, but it's what it is. It's just what it is. Every year it's a hell of a show. It's sold out every year. We have the lineup, seriously, I think it was 600 pre-sale, and I mean, the place holds 850. I mean, you couldn't move.
That's great. Good for you, man. I'm really happy for you.
For Sideshow, and I think, Canada is such a great country for artists in that area and genre. The only problem we have is that our main cities are so far apart from one another. So there's no circuit, you can't really do much and make any money. The little towns in between just won't pay the gas bill if you're doing a tour. It's very difficult. So you don't see it happen as it might in, let's say, along the East Coast or something, and you'll be able to hit those towns and be able to have more of a draw.
No, I live in Texas. I kind of understand that. Well, it's not quite the 9 or 10 hours between the major cities, but there's still outside of a couple of cities, everything else is at least 4 to 5 hours away. So when it comes to major cities, so it's one of those. I kind of get it, but that's like Texas. We don't see a lot of stuff come this way because of that reason too. Because East Coast is great because really there's 20 minutes you're in a new town, and then it's an all new audience because nobody travels, and then Texas, everybody's willing to drive at least 2 hours to do anything. So
yeah, we were supposed to be in Texas, but then of course COVID hit. We were supposed to be doing Scam School.
Oh, the Scam School thing. Oh yeah. I haven't met that dude yet, but I watch all his stuff. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were supposed to be doing that. We were supposed to be. Where's Kansas in conjunction to Texas? I'm not sure the American.
I know, I understand. Kansas is because it's going to be north of us, probably. Because I live in Austin, Texas, which I think you at least particularly. I mean, Stephanie would dig it probably too, but we have a thing called the Museum of the Weird, which I think you'd be really big on. It's very much like an old oddity shop. There's a lot of weird Hollywood memorabilia in there, but cool Hollywood memorabilia.
Oh, that's cool.
But old like silent the old black and white horror memorabilia stuff, so it's a lot of fun. Miss Mary Jane Green says from Dallas, which is 3 hours from me, is Kansas is 3 hours from that. So 3 hours north of Dallas. 5 hours. 5 hours north of us, which in my opinion, 5 hours is driving distance for us in Texas, so it's not a big deal. But I know other people, they go 20 minutes, they're out. So
yeah, no, we would fly. I'm not putting Steffi in a car for that long.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not. It's just but it's they give you the idea as far as travel for that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
that's the idea.
Yeah.
No,
we were supposed to be at a magic theater in Kansas and then come to Texas. We were in Nashville in February. then we came home, and it was about to all happen, and then we were going to go from there. I can't say what for, but we were going to Australia as well for something really, really big, and then we were going back to do the Magic Castle in LA.
Oh yeah.
Poof, gone. We have the big CNE here, the big Canadian National Exhibition.
Yeah.
It's like our biggest fair, county fair, and it draws millions. And we were one of the headline acts this year. I think we had 18 days, 3 shows a day, gone. What are you gonna do?
It's one of those things. Like I talk to a lot of performers, like of various sorts, and like a lot of us like are really upset the fact that we can't perform. But on the other side, we go, we also don't want to get people sick either, because that's the idea. Is like the audience is what makes this shit work. So wear your mask. Only go out when you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
You know, wash, repeat, all that sort of stuff to make sure you're nice and safe. See, Canada's doing it kind of right to take care of that stuff, because I was talking to our good friend Sam, and like she's going, yeah, we're worried. It's like 200 cases here in the whole province. I'm just going, I have more than 200 cases in my zip code. There's like
That's
700
right.
in my city, so it's
I don't understand what's going on down there, man. You got to do something about it. I've watched the news. I've stopped watching.
It's fair. I don't watch it either.
Disappointed with people. I saw a guy today, and I'm not going to get into politics, but I saw a guy today walking around in a shop. We had to go pick something up without a mask and putting on a scene. And I just thought, buddy, like, just put it on. It's a mask. Or if you can't wear a mask, get a face shield. And people will defend it. They'll say, "Oh, it doesn't prevent you from getting sick." Well, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to prevent others. And the particles can still come through. Yeah, they probably can, but not as many. And so what we're doing, I mean, we're actively going into stage 3 now. So that means restaurants, theaters can open with limited capacity, and it's because people are wearing masks and taking precautions, and we're being pretty good about it. I mean, I don't leave the house without one on if I'm going in. We use public transit. It's mandated, and the cases are going down. And what we did notice is that the demographic that is having a spike are the 22 to like 35-year-old group who are going out to bars and meeting up with people and, hooking up and this sort of thing. And that's the sort of pocket that's spiking. And of course it's spiking. You meet someone you don't know, you're making out in the back of the bar, and bang, you got COVID spreading. But in general, it's working, and it's not that hard to, it's not the bubonic plague. So I don't know. I think people are going to have to learn their lesson before they realize the importance of it.
Yeah, it's basically, I just tell people I stay home, and I go, I'm just staying home until either people figure it out, or they kind of phase themselves out, and then it's okay still. But it's just timeline-wise, go whether it's a month from now or like 6 months from now. I want the month from now. So hopefully everybody masks up, wash your hands, and just be cool and groovy, because we all want to get on stage and do stuff again to entertain you live.
I want to come back down. I want to come down to Texas. I
would love that. I would love you to come down. I live in Austin, but I used to live in Houston, and then I have family in Dallas. So that's 3 major cities that I will show you. I'll show you guys around and let me show you have a good time. And we'll go look at
We'll hook up shows. You can show us around. You can take me to some vintage toy shows. That's my big
thing.
Dude,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know. I look at your stuff and things like that.
That's my thing,
Yeah, we can definitely do that sort of stuff. And then whenever I've threatened to make myself up to the East Coast and then up into Canada too, because I know a lot of people that way, and like even recently, been making friends. So like, I want to make my way to the Toronto area to hang out with like you, and I know Phoenix is like a couple hours out, but I know he'll make his way in, and then Sam, and then like the Monsters.
He's not far. Sam is literally 45 minutes away.
Yeah, so
and he's the other way, and then there's a whole bunch of us here, and
yeah.
You're really welcome. You know what? You have a recording of this. I have a guest room right over there. You're welcome to stay in the guest room.
That's good to know. All right, cool. I will. The recording, so I go, no, Chris, you told me. No, I would love. I would love to come up just to hang out and stuff like that because it's just I know so many people. I've like between the Hoot and stuff like that. I've got to know a lot of performers of like Pickles LeVay's up that way too. I know pretty well.
Oh, absolutely. Pickles lives half a mile just south of me.
Oh, I know. She's like it's so.
She lives on the same street I lived on before I moved into this house.
Okay.
I love Pickles. She's one of my favorite. Thank you for mentioning Pickles. I was talking to my girlfriend about who to have on, and I'm thinking, who do we have that's weird and this, and it completely didn't even strike me that Pickles would be perfect for something strange. So
Pickles, that whole Clown Kills Empire group, you should, you can talk to any one of them and they'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, I know because Pickles is a lot more local for you. I met her last year at the Hoot and had a great time just like hanging out and running around with her. So.
Yeah, Jeff, I have an idea here. I actually, I have an envelope right here.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that what I have in the envelope is still correct.
That's fine. No worries.
So, I got it. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine all the different performers that are on this planet. I want you to think of all the different sideshow performers, all the different magic acts, all the different performers that you could you can work with, or maybe you've met, or maybe performers that anybody they may not even be alive. We could go back to Houdini if you want. Okay. I want you to imagine in your mind that you're watching a stage. You're looking at a stage. The curtains open up, and all of a sudden the curtain opens up. And out comes this performer, and they start performing. And I want you to tell me who comes to your mind right now. Who do you see in your mind right now? Say the name out loud.
Just one qualifying question before I say it. Is it a singular performer, or is it could it be a group act?
It's not a group. It's
I just want to confirm that.
Performer. Yeah, it's a single performer. Who do you see in your mind right now?
That's why I wanted to confirm with, because my first thing was a group thing, not music necessarily, but a multiple person act. So that's why I want to confirm that. So the first person I think of that is a singular act. The person I would most love, and it's going to be somebody I've never seen before, so it's one of those things I would love to have seen the chance to see this. I would love to have seen Ward Hall perform live.
Ward Hall. Now, I'm so fortunate to have been able to actually work with Ward Hall. That was at the Hoot Nanny. I met Ward at the Hoot Nanny. I've had so many amazing memories of meeting with him, and I actually even have a little signed pamphlet that he gave me, and there's no way that I would know that you would pick Ward Hall of all the different people. I did write something down inside here, and I want to show you that it actually says Ward Hall.
Holy shit.
Is mental telepathy.
That is legit. I've got fucking goosebumps. That is amazing. You are fuck you, Louis Fox. And that reaction is real. You can sense. No, it's one of those. Because it's one of those things. Because at first, because the reason I clarified, because get the fuck out. That's right, fucking Mary J. Green. That was just because there's because I could have easily went all right because you went Houdini. I go, no, I'm not gonna do Houdini now because now you said Houdini. I wasn't playing at Houdini well, but I was one of those.
But who was the act that you would have picked?
Oh, Penn.
There was a group act you mentioned.
I was gonna say Penn. I was gonna say Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I got to be honest with you, I've had a book sitting here the entire time, and it's signed by Penn and Teller. Do you want to see?
I would love to. It's your new book too, which is we'll talk about that in a second too.
Book. I'm not kidding. Let me get up here for a minute.
No, that's fine.
I'm not even going to try this. I'm just going to.
I'm going
to take it out. It's actually not signed inside the book. It's it's this. I use it as a bookmark, this piece of paper. But I wrote something on it because I thought, if I didn't get Ward Hall right, and you said Penn and Teller, I would have opened it. I had a feeling, and so I had Penn and Teller written on there as well.
Fuck, man. Dude.
So, there's no other ones in here, so it doesn't say,
No, it's...
Mosh or Steffi K or anything else.
That's amazing, man. I'm so glad we're doing this. No, thank you very much. The other thing, because refocusing, he just showed off a new book he has available called why don't we plug the book real quick, because I've actually, because it's popped up on some of the sites I visit, because I visit a lot of the magic sites because I do a little bit of stuff, and so that's popped up recently, and I thought it was really fascinating.
So this book is for magicians. It's a book that a mentalist would use in their show to create content that has to do with cryptozoology. So it revolves around the idea of different monsters, the Loveland Frogman or the Loch Ness Monster, whomever, all these different cryptids, Jersey Devil type thing.
Yeah.
And there are 7 tricks that you can do with this book. So if you buy the book, it comes with the instructions on how to do the tricks, and it has detailed video. But what's different about this book, other than a lot of the ones that are out there, the book type trick is one of my favorite. I've always loved, you hand someone a book, they open it up, think of a word, you tell them what word it is. That was the first mind reading trick I saw the amazing Kreskin do on TV when I was a kid. So and it really resonated with me because that is insanity. If somebody opens a book and looks at a word and you know what word it is, there's no cooler a trick, in my opinion, than that.
Yeah.
And I've always had a little bit of a problem with some that are out there, so I made one that I feel fits and hits all the points that you need as an entertainer to do this type of trick. No. And you can buy it on hocuspocus.com, hocus/pocus.com, and it's called Cryptid.
Yeah, hocus-pocus, not slash. Hocus-pocus.com.
Oh, sorry, hocus-dash, yeah.
I know, that's a site I frequent for stuff all the time. Yeah. And it popped up. And at first I was going to go, is that who I think it is? And then you popped the thing yourself on a thing. I go, that is who I thought that was. So, because I like it's on my queue as far as to pick up whenever I have a little extra cash to do so. So I can't wait to pick it up because it looks fascinating.
It's really fun. At Vanish Magazine, I never even expected this in a million years. I got an email from a great mentalist here in Toronto named John Rowland, and he messaged me, or he sent me a Facebook message, I should say, and he said, hey, you got to check this out. And he sent me the recent Vanish Magic Magazine did a review, and it got a 5 out of 5 star. I was just stunned. And then on Magic Orthodoxy, which is another review page, a review on YouTube, they're quite strict. And the guy gave another phenomenal review. I mean, he said the book is amazing, and pointed out all the amazing things about it, and I couldn't believe it. And now we're in the top 10 product sales on Hocus Pocus with this book. It's my first release. A lot of magicians, they'll release magic a year in. I've waited 20 before I've taken the time to put something out, and I kind of took the time because I wanted to make sure it was something that other performers would use and that it was, it was bulletproof.
Oh yeah.
And there it is. It's cryptid.
I'm on board, so I can't wait to pick that up, especially because myself and Scaps the Clown, we do another show. We call it Gaffing the Truth, where we talk about cryptids. We'll talk about conspiracy theories and all that other stuff like that. So I'm gonna get that book soon because I want to get the book so that way I can mess with him during the show with doing those things. So I can't wait. We got about 9-ish minutes before the show ends. If anybody wants to put anything in the chat they want to ask Chris, now it's only with the show's going on. We'll probably end up chatting afterwards, which it's been the tradition so far. We may do a big kind of chat stuff if you're up for it, Chris, with some other people offline sort of thing.
Sure.
Because I'm sure Hot Todd usually pops in and we can all chat back and forth for a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And anybody else like Mysterion Mary Jane Green, because we've chatted quite a bit, and she's always fun, a good friend. Anybody else? But if anybody has any questions, please drop in the chat real quick. Otherwise, we will go over to make sure people can go things. On the crawl, make sure there's his Instagram follow, which is at Dr. Mysterion for stuff. Go to thesentimentalists.com for all the stuff involving Sentimentalists. And
and on Facebook too, the Sentimentalists, and the podcast is Something Strange But True only on Facebook. There's no other social media yet.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna put that, because some people came in late, so I'm gonna put that link again so people can check that out as well.
We have a few true Canadian true Canadian UFO stories. One episode just went up, and we have another one coming up. By tomorrow night, it'll be up, and it's another 2 accounts of UFO encounters in Canada. We get them too.
No, well, yeah, of course.
I saw one thing that might have been a UFO when I was in Nevada. And we were at the Burlesque Hall of Fame event.
Oh, yeah.
And I was up in this tower. I don't know what it was. I think I might have been in a hotel up on the top floor. There was a party, and everyone was inside partying. And I don't drink or anything, so I was just kind of not bored, but not in that zone. And I went outside, and I called someone out. I don't remember who I called out. I said, "What the hell is that?" And there was a UFO. There was just this thing in the distance flying irregularly, and we both looked at it, and I got a couple of snaps with it. I mean, I think I might have had a flip phone back then, and who knows? It could have been a light, could have been an aircraft, could have been, who knows? But that's the only thing I've ever seen that was extraterrestrial. But I do have, remember the Atacama mummy? Remember the Cirrus mummy that was found in the Peruvian desert?
I think I remember something about that, yeah.
Go grab it if you don't mind. I actually have one. Here, I'm gonna get my girlfriend, if she doesn't mind, to go and grab it. I want to show this guy off for you guys. There she is. There's Liz. She's gonna go grab it. It's this little humanoid, and it was found. I was working on a television show, and it was found in a storage facility. And yeah, let's bring it around. I don't want to drop it. It's very old. It's probably about 1,000 years old. I'm not making this up. But it's a little baby Atacama mummy, and it looks like a gray. And it's the real deal. Look at that, eh?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, there's pictures of it on the page, really close up, and it has little tiny teeth, and the ossification of the bone joints are not that of a baby; they are that of an adult. And this thing, if it stood, would probably stand about maybe just under 12 inches tall.
That is
but
so
its head
amazing.
does not have the shape or the structure of a human. It is very otherworldly and unearthly. But maybe who knows? Maybe I have an alien baby in my house. I don't know, but that's probably my favorite piece in my collection.
No, that's amazing. So Miss Mary Jane Green just popped in the thing because she has her podcast, and she said you're going to be on her podcast August 5th. I've been on her podcast last month, so it's also a lot of fun. So everybody check out to make sure Pony Pod to check that out. Go through your favorite podcast things, and you can listen to Hot Todd. You can listen to Chris. Chris Mysterion to talk about that sort of stuff. I just saw things saying Hot Todd goes beautiful.
I couldn't bend any of those nails. I've seen him do that.
It's amazing.
He just took one at my house. I had one in the back, and I said, "Here, bend this." And he went, and then he tore a deck of cards into fourths.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
Wait, 1, 2, 8, and I was just like, "All right, whatever, buddy."
Yeah. Miss Mary Jane Green is asking, did you name the baby there, and what is the name?
Yes, I did. So Robert Ripley had one, and he called it Attaboy because it comes from the Atacama Desert, and I called mine Attagirl.
There we go. Yeah, that's cute and amazing.
Yeah.
That's
it's
awesome.
Something else. Every time I look at it, it's like it's a visitor from another planet or who knows what. But whatever it is, it's it's not very
No,
I don't know what it is.
That's
It's
very
creepy.
that's a very fascinating piece. That's really, really great. We're just about out of time. We got a couple minutes left, so everybody go make sure you check out Something Strange But True, or something. Yeah, and then go to Sentimentalists, go to Instagram, go to Facebook to find out everything he has going on. Chris also has a Patreon that he's doing stuff with. That has a lot of fun stuff to go to do that, and you've got a lot of fun stuff you can do with that, which definitely recommend. And it's under Mysterion the Mind Reader versus.
It's up there somewhere. If you go on Patreon and you type Mysterion, you'll find it immediately.
Give me 2 shakes.
On there, so.
Yeah, give me 2 shakes and I'll track that down because we got a couple of minutes and it's not like there's anything after us. So.
Now, before we go, I want to try one last thing with you, and I actually want to ask if one of the listeners could just send you, because I can't see anything on my end of the screen. I have a pack of cards, pack of standard poker cards, and I would like to ask if one of the viewers right now could just type to you the name of a card in a deck of cards, not a joker, one of the other cards of the 52. They could do that.
Okay, whoever wants. Okay, we'll do a free for all. Whoever wants to type in first for that card, I will say what it is because, like, legit, we were talking about this before the show starts. Chris is only looking at the Zoom, so he can't see what's going on Twitch. So, whoever the first person can do so can type me the name of a card that is not a joker, and then put that in the chat.
It could be that one. It could be any of the cards in the pack. It doesn't matter. Whatever one it is that feels right, go ahead and write it on in and type it in and send it over. And let me know once you got that, Jeff.
No problem. The thing about internet, sometimes there's a lag.
Yeah, there'll be a delay. Yeah.
So that's why I'm giving everybody a chance. So whoever wants to jump in, because there's quite a few viewers in right now. So all right, I have a card.
What does it say?
It's gonna be the 7 of clubs.
Oh, good, very good. So it's that one right there. That's the one they want.
Correct.
I'm really actually happy that they picked that card because what color is the back of that card, Jeff? What do you see?
That would be a blue. No, it's blue.
It is a blue card indeed. But that's crazy because, Bud, this is otherwise a red deck.
Oh, that's so good. Man, that's so good. Everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning into the show here. This is the G Spot. We had a great time here at Chris Mysterion. Next week, we've got Sally Cinch, who's a great sideshow performer out of the Baltimore, D.C. area. And
I love Sally.
Here's an exclusive.
Smallest waist.
Oh no, she's the smallest waist. Here's a nice exclusive. I haven't talked about this yet because I just got confirmation. The week after that, we're doing a special edition thing that's going to start earlier. We're going to have Chris Christ here. Ward Hall's partner and stuff like that for Sideshow. So Sideshow legend.
Right.
So he's going to be on the show. We're going to chat about stories and stuff like that and have a lot of great time. Be tuned for something like that. Other like that. If you guys want to,
did you know that Chris was the booker for WCW wrestling?
I was not aware of that. That's fascinating. We're gonna chat about that off screen now because there's another thing happening after us. So, anyways, anybody wants to join us in the Zoom chat afterwards? I put the link on the thing. If not, you guys know how to reach me. We'll get on board with that. So let's read it. Thank you once again so much, Chris Mysterion. I had a great time hanging out with you. You're amazing,
You're
phenomenal.
Welcome. We'll see you in my favorite place, the future.
That's right. There we go. Here we're gonna get the loadout.